and the carcasses of the people floated in the water. Exactly as God says, the carcasses of Americans will float in the water. And you have been hearing this since the prophecy, Trans-Army Natural Disasters and the Economy. That was in 2022. You've been hearing it. Bodies will float in the water. They floated now, and Yah says they will float again, for he will flood sinners out of their holes like rats. Why chase after them? You get on the boat of God's salvation. You humble yourself. You wash your robes clean and separate from the mocker and the scoffer, because God is telling me their judgment shall not tarry. God said to me before I put the camera on, he said, they have done all in their power to discredit you, but they have failed. They have failed. I will increase your authority. I will strengthen my word in your mouth. I will raise you up as my messenger in their midst, and none of your words will fall to the ground. As you speak to them, I will fulfill it upon their backs. He said they tried to tear you down, Celestial, and they left many marks on your neck. God has been telling me for days now, they stood on your neck. That's what he said. They stood with cleats. Do you know what cleats are? To those of you outside of the country and you don't have American football, maybe you have rugby or maybe you have some other type of sport. It's the particular boot that these big and heavy men wear that have spikes underneath them. Sometimes it's a thick plastic spike. Sometimes it's a sharp metal spike. It gives you better grip as you're running over the sod on the football or the rugby or the soccer pitch. He said they stood on your neck, my daughter. I was working at my computer. He said they stood on your neck. They punctured your neck with their cleats, but I have put my word in your mouth, and it shall not fail. As you proclaim to them, I will fulfill all upon their backs. He said they only tried. They only made an attempt. They only tried to discredit you. They only tried to tear you down. They only tried to stand and puncture your neck. But I say try, because they have not succeeded. That is what he was telling me, and that is what he was telling me now. I will increase the authority of your mouth, that when you speak, I will move to fulfill it upon their backs. And that is exactly what God said to the prophet Jeremiah in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 12. He asked Jeremiah, showed him a boiling pot to the north, trouble brewing in the north. America, Russia is your trouble to the north. Russia will come to America through Canada, and the Canadians will not be able to withstand the Russians. The Canadians will acquiesce to the Russians. The Russians will make not so much a suggestion as a demand to enter America from the north. They will come down. The two mountains I have named for years here, Rockies, Appalachians, they will come down through Canada, and Canada shall not deny Russia entry. Canada's in no position to deny anybody with tanks and guns anything. Canada's not an armed nation. Canada is a backless nation. God has already prophesied to them years ago, I will break the back of the maple leaf. Canada can't fight anybody for dust. God showed Jeremiah a boiling pot to the north, trouble brewing in the north, and said, son, what do you see? And he said, I see a pot boiling to the north. And God says, you have seen well, meaning well done, young prophet. You are able to observe the vision and rightly tell me what it is that I'm showing you. And then God said to him afterwards in verse 12, I am watching over my word to perform it. My job is to prophesy to you, America. God will come and do everything that I've said. Every single name that I've named, every single person that has been named here, every single event that has been detailed to you, and you're watching it now. God said to you that the weather people will be confounded. And then the old man cried when he saw that recent hurricane brewing. He cried on TV. And there will be many more incidents like that, where people say, traditionally, a tornado does this and this. People have been saying of the storms, traditionally, the storms lose power over land, but the storms became more vicious when they hit land. They seemed to increase in ferocity. They will do the opposite of what the science books say they will do. The weather will do the opposite of what geography says that it will do. My job is to prophesy it to you, and then you will see it on the news. And no one will eat away or undermine or destroy or refute or despise or rebuke or steal the word of God out of my mouth. Because Yah has said, I will increase my word in your mouth. And then when you have spoken it, I will perform it upon their backs.